please to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We have a roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Trustee Wade.
Here.
Trustee Matuzek.
Here.
Trustee Kress.
Present.
Supervisor Gieleghem.
Yes, here.
Trustee King.
Present.
Treasurer Aiello.
Present.
Clerk Meltzer here.
Okay. We have 9 items on the agenda tonight, one of which is the consent agenda, as well as 2 items for closed session. We will be coming out of closed session. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion on the motion? Roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Treasurer Aiello.
Yes.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Trustee Wade.
Yes.
Trustee Matuzek.
Yes.
Trustee Kress.
Yes.
Supervisor Gieleghem.
Yes.
Trustee King.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, item number 1, the consent agenda. Total of 5 items.
I'll move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any discussion on the items? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Treasurer Aiello.
Yes.
Trustee Matuzek.
Yes.
Trustee Wade.
Yes.
Trustee Kress.
Yes.
Supervisor Gieleghem.
Yes.
Trustee King.
Yes.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Motion passes.
Okay, item number 2, introduction of applicant for appointment to the Parks and Recreation Committee. And as per our policy, this is a 2-step process. We have the opportunity for the applicant, Ms. Mary Pope, to address the Township Board for a total of 3 minutes. Ms. Pope? Yes. Yes?
Okay.
Yep. Make sure the green light's on.
Okay.
It
is.
On the microphone? Okay. Yep, and yeah, you want to pull it down so
Okay.
people can hear you.
Oh, I see, just the top part.
All right, 3
Okay.
minutes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mary Ann Pope. I'm here this evening because I'd like to assist in bringing the very best to the Clinton Township Parks and Recreation Committee. Health, environment, and our well-being is something that I care very much about. When I moved to Clinton Township after the loss of my parents 15 years ago, I felt like I arrived back home. Let me explain. My parents moved the family here for 2 years in the 1970s. After sending us to private school prior to our move, they obviously felt comfortable letting the last half of the kids attend Chippewa Valley Public Schools. That decision gave me the opportunity to attend Algonquin Junior High. Yes, it was referred to as junior high at that time. And I absolutely loved it. There was a strong sense of pride amongst the students to be associated with a school district that honored the great Native Americans. Although it was a short-lived stay in Sterling Heights for us, it left a great impression on me and my siblings. I was also at a critical age where I had developed many friendships that I had to leave behind. I now live in Bridgewood, 3 and 4 subdivisions, where I've been a homeowner association block captain for 14 years. Our previous event coordinator fell victim to health issues 8 years ago, so I've taken over the duties of organizing our subsale and Halloween parade, which has been in existence for well over 40 years. Since then, I've incorporated games and crafts into the Halloween parade day, brought the participation fee down for our subsale, and created easy-to-read participating home maps for our subsale customers. I've always been ambitious, proactive, and I like to see things through. My post-secondary education is proof of that, with well over 200 college credit hours, specialty diplomas, and certifications. Yes, for a time while stepping in as a caregiver for my family, I became a career student. My education primarily encompasses a creative and technical background. I'm always looking for ways to improve upon what exists and thinking of how to create something that does not yet exist. This leads me to ideas that I'd like to share and bring to our parks and recreation programs. For instance, as I mentioned at the beginning of my speech, living in a township layered in Native American history, I strongly feel we should be featuring more information and activities based on the tribes that once flourished on this land. Examples of this could be inviting a tribe here to demonstrate a powwow, inviting a Native American to present their story for story time, making crafts, and learning some Chippewa or other language. I believe this would create some fresh excitement to our township and enable great respect for our environment from its occupants and visitors. With regards to my employment, I've held various positions and worn many hats in different businesses. It wasn't planned that way, but when you're handed lemons, you've got to learn how to make lemonade and enjoy it. These adventures have not only presented me with acquiring additional skills, but provided me with the ability to adapt to various situations. Ranking 6 in a family of 8 children has also prepared me to evoke alternatives and persevere. Thank you.
Great. Well, Mary, thank you so much. We have 2 positions available on the committee, and the posting period is still open. We greatly appreciate your application, and it's going to be under advisement, and board members will reach out if they have questions.
Okay, thank
Okay?
you.
Great. Thank you. That brings us to item number 3, recommendation of appointment to the Housing
Do we
Commission.
need a motion to just receive and file?
We can do that.
I think so.
Yep, okay.
I'll make that motion to receive and
second
file.
Okay, motion to receive and file.
Who seconded that?
I did.
You did?
Supported by trustee Kress.
Okay.
Roll call, please.
Clerk Melser, yes. Trustee Kress?
Yes.
Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak?
Yes.
Supervisor Gieleghem?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Treasurer Aiello?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Item number 3, recommendation of appointment to the Housing Commission.
Are you going to take that on too? I mean, just because you did the other one? Or do you
Yep.
want me to read it?
Introduction of applicant.
I can read it.
Housing Commission, yeah.
Do you want me to just
Why
do
don't
that?
you read it?
Okay.
Yep.
Dear board members, there has been a vacancy on the commission following the resignation of the resident commissioner in April of 2025. The opening is a partial 5-year term that will expire on January 3rd, 2030. A resident applicant must reside in Clinton Village Public Housing. Please note that this appointment falls under the jurisdiction of the Township Supervisor and is subject to the ratification by the Township Board. Attached for your review is the application for appointment from the following applicant, appointment Jasmine Brown. Per the policy guidelines, an invitation has been extended to the applicant to attend the June 22nd, 2026 board meeting where an opportunity will be given 3 minutes to address the board. Thank you for your attention in this matter. Sincerely, Paul Gieleghem, Supervisor.
Is Ms. Brown in attendance? Trustee King.
I do not believe that she's going to be in attendance.
Okay.
I can just say that I've worked with her before. She has volunteered her time. She's a resident of the Housing Commission, and I think it would be an incredible value add to be a part of the board. We struggle mightily to be able to get resident to be on part of this, as you can see from the timing. And I think this is going to be a breath of fresh air to be able to have one of our residents onto this board.
So trustee King, I know that you are the board liaisons to the Housing Commission. You spend a lot of time working with the committee, and I accepted this as my recommendation for appointment based upon your recommendation. This is a resident spot, and this is the resident that we've identified. So floor is open for a motion.
I'll make that motion to receive and file.
I'll support.
Okay. Any further discussion? Roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Treasurer Aiello?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak?
Yes.
Trustee Kress?
Yes.
Supervisor Gieleghem?
Yes.
Clerk Melser, yes. Motion passes. So both of those agenda items will be on the next agenda. So let me do this.
Next meeting agenda. Okay. That brings us to item number 4, recommendation for approval of the Township Pump Stations Study, issue recommended by the Budget Ways and Means Committee.
Okay, sorry. The AFG grant, is that what the one you mentioned? Is that the one you just mentioned? The AFG?
The
Huh?
pump station, item number 4, recommendation for approval of the
Did we-
Township Pump Station Study.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Dear Honorable Board of Trustees, on June 2nd, 2026, the Budget Ways and Means Committee met with Public Services Director Mary Bednar, Assistant Superintendent of Water and Sewer Joe Tresick, and the Township Engineer Representative Scott Lockwood and Scott Chabot from Anderson, Eckstein, and Westrick, Inc., to discuss the need for sanitary and storm sewer pump station study. Ms. Bednar informed the committee that the study is a proactive step to examine the township's pump stations as a means of preventative maintenance and to facilitate future capital improvement planning of this critical pump station infrastructure. The SCADA system and motor controls would also be part of this investigation. The intent of this study is to provide a pragmatic approach to identifying any equipment, materials, and processes that would be enhanced or replaced for efficiency and to avoid potential failures. Excuse me. Comparatively, over the past 10 years, all pipe runs within the sanitary sewer have been inspected in phases to determine the condition of the pipe and whether the maintenance, rehabilitation, or replacement was required. It was explained that this pump station and SCADA study parallels that same periodic evaluation approach that is ultimately beneficial for all our capital assets and related financial planning. This pump station study and corresponding report is budgeted in the fiscal year 2027 Water and Sewer Fund. Following discussion, the Budget Ways and Means Committee voted unanimously to recommend approval to the pump station study to commence upon approval. Please contact Mary Bednar or Joe Tresick with any additional information regarding this request. Respectfully, Julie Matuzak, Township Trustee and Chair for the Budget Ways and Means Committee.
Thank you, Ms. Meltzer. Any discussion on the item?
I'll make that motion to approve the pump station study.
I'll support that.
For support? Okay.
I'm sorry, who
Trustee
supported it?
Kress.
Who supported it? No, who supported it? Was it Bruce?
The study? Probably about, I'd guess about 2 months.
And basically, there's, two stormwater lift, 13 sewage pump stations, and 500 receive mats. That's the totality of it, and there's a grinder here too also.
Yeah, that's the grinder at George Park.
And these will all be scoped, like TV camera or man.
BLM, the ones that we had that are in need of inspection, some of them had a minimal amount of scope because they've already been rehabilitated. We've done work in the last couple of years, but the majority of those will have a, that cost includes the confined space entry for us to go in there and get, whether it's photographs or GoPro or a combination of that to get that evidence of.
These stations, lift stations and such, do we already have replacement parts for them? Or is this something that's obsolete that would have to be replaced?
Part of the study is to determine some of that, if it is obsolete or not, because I know that there's other parts that they do have replacements for, but the whole point is, or the whole purpose of the study is to also evaluate what, things that we could, that could be more, what's the word I want to use? More innovative and more efficient for these stations to operate. So, you're welcome.
Before you go, Mr. Chabot, talk about the SCADA system as a part of this as well. Not
So-
just the pump systems, but the system that runs.
Yeah, so the system that runs the pump station, so the last time we had that SCADA system, which is, just to give a quick explanation of that, is for the water sewer staff or other, you wouldn't say the director, yourself, Mary, or others, to be able to.
I'm water and sewer staff.
Yes, remotely be able to access and understand how the system's running and be able to operate it remotely as well. And also it gives, the necessary alarming information, and also can take a lot of data and be able to, kind of tell us how each of the stations is operating from a remote standpoint. And that SCADA system was originally put in I think it was 2014. So the point of this study is to essentially do the same as what we're doing with the pump stations, to look at that holistically and see, what other upgrades or, types of components that might need to be replaced or improved as part of that.
Okay. Thank you, sir. We have a motion for approval and support.
Who supported that, please?
I think it was Trustee Wade.
Wait, thank you.
Roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Treasurer Aiello?
Yes.
Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak?
Yes.
Trustee Kress?
Yes.
Supervisor Gieleghem?
Yes.
Trustee King.
Yes.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Motion passes.
Item number 5, ratification of the AFG grant request from the fire department.
The fire department has the opportunity to obtain an Assistant to Firefighters grant. The grant would cover the acquisition of extraction units to decontaminate turnout gear and SCBA units and other equipment. These units help eliminate carcinogenic chemicals to help reduce health risks to the team. Further details are in the attached materials. The grant has a 10% match, which would have us funding $15,000 of the $150,000. The grant became available on May 19th and was due on June 22nd prior to the board meeting. Given the timing of board meeting and grant committee meeting, there was insufficient time to get board authorization through the grant committee as recommended the approval. The chief was instructed to apply in anticipation of board ratification. If ratification does not occur, we will withdraw the application. We anticipate that it will be 9 months to 1 year before we learn if the grant will be awarded. We are requesting that you ratify the decision to apply for the AFG grant as described. And this was presented by Dan O'Leary on behalf of the grant committee.
Questions for the chief? Or on the agenda item?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the grant.
I'll second that.
Okay, moved and supported. Chief, the timing issue, we appreciate you guys taking the lead on this and applying for it. It's a $150,000 grant, 10% match, so total cost of the township, if awarded, $15,000.
That's correct. We've also used this opportunity as a learning tool for future opportunities. We've worked on potential other grants, having a canned process, if you will. So if these events do come up in the future, we're able to pull it off the shelf and have it ready to go as well.
Okay.
I have
Trustee Wade?
just maybe a follow-up, just getting off course a little bit. A prior grant that you had applied for, I think it was a burn house. Is there any update on that? I know you were waiting for.
Yes, actually, in the last 2 weeks, we did receive a letter that we're unsuccessful in our bid with the previous AFG grant for that topic.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Further discussion? We have a motion and support. Roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Treasurer Aiello?
Yes.
Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak?
Yes.
Trustee Kress?
Yes.
Supervisor Gieleghem?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief. Item number 6, ratification of the senior isolation grant.
The Senior Center was given the opportunity to receive a $5,000 Molina Healthcare grant. The purpose of the grant is to help alleviate senior isolation and loneliness by providing phone calls from staff to engage them. The grant requires no financial match, just our time. The reporting requirements will be handled by the Senior Center team. The director of the Senior and Family Services Department will work with her team to devise the appropriate process for carrying out the intentions of the grant. The grant was actually applied for by the prior administration and has been granted. Though the process of pre-approval was not adhered to, we have since received a positive recommendation from the grant committee and are asking for the board's retroactive ratification of the application and adjustment of the senior budget to include the added revenue and added expense. This was submitted by Dan O'Leary on behalf of the grant committee.
Okay. Board members, our Director of Seniors and Family Recreation is in attendance. Trustee Kress.
I'm glad that it's not the isolation grant. It's not the senior isolation grant. Actually,
Yeah,
it's
we're actually
not.
against that.
It's a grant to prevent senior isolation. So,
Yes.
way to go, Dan O'Leary. Okay, thank you.
All right. Trustee Matuzak.
Can you speak a little bit about what the activities will be under this grant?
Yeah, absolutely. So most of the activity is actually going to be something that we're using to strengthen our volunteer corps as well. So we're using Senior Center volunteers to run an outreach program for people that have been members in the past. So they're going to be contacting, various phone numbers that we have for people that maybe used to attend all the time and don't as much anymore. And it's a good way for us to verify in our system who is still around and wants to be around. And then we're putting together a welcome back event. So when we get in contact with these people, we're going to invite them out to the center for them in a +1, so that if they have a caregiver or someone, they can use that person to bring them to the center. If they're unable or just not interested in physically coming back to the center, then we're using it to create a list or a database So we can continue to reach out on a monthly basis for seniors that may be, stuck at home or dealing with isolation issues.
Sounds like a great project.
Yeah.
And I do hope that going forward, grants coming from the senior department, senior center, will go through our process.
Absolutely.
Again, this was a timing issue with
Right.
the lag between board meetings being unusually long. So, Trustee Wade.
Real quick, I know when we had that study done, there was quite an extensive list of people. They don't know were active, if they've moved or what's happened. This will help that?
Yes, absolutely. From a business end, that is a huge bonus. From the grant end, it's just a good resource for us to get in contact with those people. Because again, we know they're in our system because they were there
Right.
at one point. So it's going to help us clarify how we can help provide them resources and potentially bring them back into the center.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I'd like to make that motion to move forward on the grant for the,
Okay. Moved and supported for approval. Any further discussion? Roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Treasurer Aiello?
yes.
Trustee Kress?
Yes.
Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Matuziak?
Yes.
Supervisor Gieleghem?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Clerk Munster, yes. Motion passes.
Item number 7, smart credit allocation.
As you are aware, we receive municipal grants and community credits from the Smart Millage each year. Those funds are subject to forfeiture if not used within 3 years. Our allocation for the year July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027 is $94,079 in municipal credits and $186,930 in community credits. We also receive special services credits of approximately $10,000. We wish to allocate $231,009 of the current year credits to the Richmond Lennox for the contract year, as well as $10,000 of specialized service credits and $100,000 of unused credits from prior years, as was anticipated when we embarked on this new approach. Approximately $50,000 of current year credits will be maintained internally rather than shared with RLEMS to cover tickets we distribute, bus rides to events, and similar services consistent with past practice. Since entering this arrangement, Richmond Lennox has often had more buses in our community than the 3 we transferred to them. They have conducted approximately 800 rides per month for 12 months ended April 2026, compared to only 450 per month under the prior service that was restricted to Clinton Township destinations only. Your approval of the attached resolution and these expenditures and contract for the contract year 7/1/26 to 6/30/27 is greatly appreciated. Submitted by Dan O'Leary in the Supervisor's Office.
And we have Jeff White here from the Richmond Lennox Transportation Authority, who is now our provider. And as the letter stated, there's been an exponential increase in the services being delivered and people being able to utilize this service, not just to go to places within Clinton Township, but surrounding communities. Jeff, you have the floor.
Yes, far be it from me to extend a meeting that's going along very quickly tonight. So really, I think Mr. O'Leary did a great job of summing up, where we're at with the service for the purpose of the public that's here and might otherwise watch the meeting tonight. Just a reminder that we do operate the service Monday through Saturday. It operates from about 7 a.m. each morning until about 7 p.m. each night is when we try to have the vehicles back inside. So the last pickups might be about 6 or 6:30 in the evening. And on Saturdays, we operate till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So, people can use this service for a number of reasons. Primarily, we got in the business to get people to and from healthcare. But what we found out is people needed to get to nutrition. They needed to get to business affairs. They needed to get to work. And they even need to get out for socialization, if you will. And so, it can be used for really any of those purposes, and we encourage everyone to call. I will tell you that we've become a victim of our own success because there is sometimes no availability, and I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that. We're turning away about 10% of all callers at this point in time because we just have become that that needed and that popular within your community. So we feel bad when we have to turn people away. There is some work being done at the county level. I want to thank the supervisor as well as Mr. O'Leary, who have been working very hard with the county commissioners to see if we can't bring back a little bit more of the millage money here to the local community without hurting the line haul service that many in your community depend upon, but just bring a little bit more back here that we can then hopefully drop that 10% number down just a little bit.
Thank you. Questions from the board?
Yes.
Clerk Meltzer.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor, and thank you, Mr. White, for being here and the work you've done. It's been really exceptional. The question I have, though, is have you seen an increase in requests for transportation to voting on Election Day or leading up to, because Clinton Township has 9 days of early voting. Would you have any reports on whether or not you've seen an increase for participation or demand for transportation for that purpose?
I don't have any data to support that, Madam Clerk. It's I believe that there are people that use it for that purpose, and certainly that's a purpose that they could use it for. We had a couple of times over the years had communities ask us if we could, provide a vehicle within their community on Election Day to assist with some of that, and certainly would be open to that if a community felt like they would really like to have a community maybe a vehicle maybe dedicated to that purpose. So if that's something that interests the community, please reach out to us, and we'll certainly look at how we would do that and how you would want it structured. Kind of the key to our success is we have 14 communities, and we kind of come to every one and say, what can we do to make this work for your community, to customize it for your individual community. And so we'd be happy to look at that.
That was my question, so I appreciate that. I do think I'd like to, so do I contact your office? And
if you want, I'll send you my information or make sure you get it. You can contact me directly on that. It'd be something a little unusual for our call takers, so I want to make sure we get you the right answers when you make that call.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I think it's important. We want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to vote, and a lot of people really want to do more than just vote absentee. They want that experience, and transportation can be a big hurdle for many people to get over. So thank you so very much for what you do. It's really a great asset to our community.
I'll look forward to talking with you more about it.
Same here. Thanks.
Great.
I got a
Further discussion from the board. Trustee Wade.
real quick, you said that about 10% of the calls you get, you're not able to fill. Is that because of funding, or would it be because of staffing?
It's all finance related. We have a budget that is set basically, if you will, by all of your communities when you take these municipal and community credits and return them to us in the fashion that you do. And so really it's a matter of just we have to spend all that on transportation, so it can't be used for anything else. And so when we have reached the end of our budget, less a little bit of cushion we leave there for unexpected things like gas prices jumping $1 a gallon, if you will, then we just can't provide any further service. So right now it is a matter of funding and finance.
Your organization does a great job. I get a lot of compliments that you guys are there when people really need you. So I want to thank you for what your group does.
Okay. And so kind of piggybacking off of that question, and you kind of alluded to it, Mr. White, these are dollars that come from SMART in the form of community credits, municipal credits, money that we've kept in reserve over the few years, which has really been propping up the program. But there is a move underfoot to work with SMART and the Board of Commissioners. Board of Commissioners being the organization that will have to place this issue on the ballot for the millage countywide. When that passed last time, it was passed on a very, very narrow, thin margin. And part of the concern was the northern communities who don't have any fixed route service, unlike Clinton Township, which has, quite frankly, one of the busiest lines of all of the SMART fixed service, the Gratiot line on Clinton Township, but to return more of those dollars to those communities. So in other words, I think the deal that is being worked out is about a 12.5% of all the dollars that are generated from that community are going to be returned to the community to do these alternative programs. And we've seen great progress on that, and Clinton Township has been very proud to be a part of those discussions. So,
We appreciate it. We think it's just going to do your citizens a great service to have some more of those funds controlled by the local community for local needs like elections or whatever those might be, and really reducing that 10% of people that aren't going to, receive service. Frankly, in Macomb County, you all know the demographics. Our community is getting quite a bit older. As we get older, we have more of these kind of needs, and I think that'll be good going not only for now but going forward as Macomb County continues to age a little bit.
okay. Again, Clerk Meltzer?
Thank you. I just wanted to make sure, I'm prepared to make the motion, but I didn't want to trump anybody, but it's to receive and file the letter dated June 10th, 2026 from the Deputy Supervisor and adopt the resolution authorizing the use of smart municipal and community credit, which allocates the credits as presented in the letter. And the board would also be approving the expenditures and contract for the contract year July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027. And I'll make that motion.
Correct.
I'll second that.
Authorizing the supervisor to sign the contract on
Correct.
behalf of the township. Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't read the resolution, but basically summed it up. It was summed up in the letter, but I wanted the public to know this is a resolution requirement.
Okay, moved and supported. Any further discussion? Seeing none? Roll call, please.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Treasurer Aiello?
Yes.
Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak?
Yes.
Trustee Kress?
Yes.
Supervisor Gieleghem?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you all.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Item number 8, we need a motion to approve going into closed session in the issue of Cassin versus Clinton Township.
Actually, it's Pamela Cassin versus Clinton Township. Do we need to read the claim number for this, or is that sufficient, the title?
The title's sufficient.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
And
Second that.
that was my question. Are you going to make a second motion?
That's the
for
next.
Second closed session?
Yeah, it's a separate
We'll do a
item.
second motion for that.
Yeah.
So roll call, please, on item number 8.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Trustee Kress?
Yes.
Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak?
Yes.
Supervisor Gieleghem?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Treasurer Aiello?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, item number 9, discussion of pending litigation with council, ITC, versus Charter Township of Clinton.
So moved.
Moved. Is there support?
I'll support that.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? Just so folks know, we will be coming out on both cases. Roll call, please.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Trustee Kress?
Yes.
Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak?
Yes.
Supervisor Gieleghem?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Treasurer Aiello?
Yes.
Motion passes.
I think that is record time here for the business part of the meeting, not including the closed session items. That brings us to public participation. Captain? Okay. We have one public comment this evening. Pat, I think it's Visger. Am I close? Okay. Mr. Visger, you have the floor for a total of 3 minutes.
Okay, good evening, Supervisor, members of the board. My name is Pat Visger, and I live near 41924 Alden Drive. Currently, that home does not have a rental license required by the township, but that property is being advertised on Airbnb and Vrbo as a vacation rental for 16-plus guests. It's been steadily rented over the past few months. The home's not being leased as a long-term residential rental to a family. It's being marketed to the public as a short-term vacation lodging with pool use, outdoor entertainment, multiple beds, transient guests, etc. I understand Clinton Township does not have a separate short-term rental ordinance. I'm not asking for that ordinance tonight. I'm respectfully asking the township to enforce the ordinances already on the books. The home is in an R1 residential district where the zoning ordinance says it is for one family dwelling and residentially related uses. Moreover, the rental ordinance defines a dwelling unit as a building designed for occupancy by one family for residential purposes. It also defines a hotel as a room or rooms in any building advertised or held out to the public to be a place where sleeping, rooming, office accommodations are furnished for lease or rent, whether with or without meals. And that's exactly what's happening at the house across the street. It's a hotel according to the definition in the ordinance. And I've been informed by multiple individuals in the building department, the ordinance officer included, that once a rental license is issued, there's nothing that can be done. And respectfully, that can't be correct. A rental license should not convert an unlawful zoning use into lawful use. If a property is operating as a hotel in an R1 district, which by the township's own definition, this is a hotel, then the issue is not merely whether the home passes a rental inspection. The issue is whether the use is permitted. Now, this is also impacting the neighborhood. At times, there have been as many as 12 vehicles across the street. Police have been called because of noise. There's been a 3 a.m. fight in the street, multiple weekends of young men drinking and partying. Another noisy group just this past Wednesday at midnight. I came home from work today. There's another group there. This is a commercial lodging activity being pushed into a residential neighborhood. So my request is simple. Before any rental license is issued or before the township treats a license as resolving this matter, I am asking the board respectfully to direct the appropriate township officials to make a written zoning determination on this property. Specifically, is this advertised short-term rental use permitted in R1? If the township says yes, then I ask what ordinance language allows it. If the answer is no, then I'm asking the township to issue the appropriate zoning violation and prevent the property from operating as a hotel, again by definition, in the one-family R1 district. This is not about me being mad at renters. I get people want to make income from the property, but it's about preserving the difference between a home in a residential neighborhood and a commercial lodging operation. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it very, very much.
Thank you, sir. At the beginning, did you provide the address for the
I did. I was talking
Alden
fast
Court?
because I want to get my 3 minutes. But I can
you got
tell
it in
you
there,
again.
but if you could repeat it.
Repeat that address?
Sure, absolutely.
41924.
41924 Alden Drive.
41921.
Yeah. 41924.
924.
Yes, sir.
Got it. Okay, Alden Drive. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate you listening.
This is not a give and take, but I will say that this is an issue that has been coming up more frequently, and it's been discussed by the Budget Ways and Means Committee, and a subgroup of that committee is been tasked with looking at our current ordinances and seeing what we can apply, as well as do we need a separate ordinance.
I absolutely appreciate
So-
it. And I've looked up some in Michigan for, like coastal communities, and they
Yep.
have some nice short-term ones.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next Budget Ways and Means agenda item, I believe, has that already on there, July 7th, sir, if you're interested in attending. Yeah, at 9:30 or 9, what time? 9:30. In this
9:30 in the
this
morning?
room. July 7th.
This room.
This room.
Okay, great, thanks, because I talked to some of my neighbors too, and they're as concerned.
Yes.
Uh,
We have heard a lot, so
Okay.
Great.
we are
I
addressing it.
Absolutely appreciate it. I looked at some other meetings. Someone told me that. I couldn't find it in the minutes, so
All right.
thanks for listening.
All right,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
Any further public participation? Ma'am? Usually for the public participation at the end of the meeting, we have these forms here, but
She can fill it out after.
step to the podium, and if you could fill one out after your comments, that would be helpful. So we have your contact information.
Hello, my name is Nicole. I reside on Kentucky Court near Quinn Road, near 15 Mile in Gratiot. I am here tonight regarding a serious recurring safety hazard on Kentucky Court. Individuals are routinely launching heavy consumer-grade fireworks directly from the middle of our public street during the 4th of July weekend. I am here to address this annual fireworks display lit from the middle of our cul-de-sac, which is hosted by several neighbors. To provide you with more context and evidence of the damage and health and safety concerns this event creates, I have provided several photos of the damage to my property and the debris that litters the streets, sidewalks, rooftops, and other properties. I have also provided an excerpt of the Michigan Fireworks Safety Act. This is not a simple noise complaint. Falling, burning debris is raining down directly onto parked cars, residential rooftops. We are facing an immediate risk of vehicle paint damage, roof fires, and personal injury to anyone stepping outside. Discharging fireworks in a public street is an immediate actionable violation of both Michigan state law and Clinton Township Code of Ordinances. Because this debris is actively landing on vehicles and private properties, this is a severe property damage, fire, and safety liability issue. Illegal use of public property. Under Michigan compiled law, MCL 28.462, it is illegal to discharge consumer fireworks on public property, including streets, sidewalks, and right-of-ways, without explicit permission. Property damage and trespass. Under Clinton Township local ordinances, individuals are prohibited from creating a public nuisance or launching fireworks in a manner that causes debris to land on, damage, or endanger adjacent properties or vehicles. In the past, I have made reports to the local police. I have called the non-emergency line and tried speaking with my neighbors. To no avail, this is not being addressed. I am respectfully asking the Township Board to direct the Clinton Township Police Department to implement a targeted proactive patrol on Kentucky courts during the 4th of July weekend to prevent any violations of the Michigan Fireworks Safety Act and damage to my and others' property. I also ask that the township send a formal warning letter regarding fireworks street discharge liability to the residents on Kentucky Court and Kentucky Street. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Again, not a back and forth, but I will tell you that this is an issue that we've been grappling with for quite a number of years. One of those issues that we call preemption, state preemption of local rules. The state used to ban fireworks. They allowed it permissible in certain dates within holidays. And so make sure we get a comment card, and we'll make sure that we dig into the issue further to be able to respond to you and have a dialogue.
Just to be clear, it's not the fireworks that's the problem. It's where they're shooting them from.
Okay.
Which is the problem.
Yeah. Trustee
I
Wade.
know it's not supposed to be back and forth, but I was just curious, is this one particular house that's doing the fireworks, or is it a
So,
group?
no, there are several neighbors. They go house to house. They collect $250 from the residents that want to participate. They put on a large fireworks display, which, like I said, I have pictures. One of my cars was destroyed. The cleanup is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm sure the fire chief will remember, but a number of years back, we had actually had somebody killed down there in a fireworks accident, if you remember that. So it's been a problem in the past, too. So.
Okay.
Thank you.
Within the scope of our authority, we will look into it. Okay. Thank you. All right. Any further public participation? Public participation, yep, please. Okay. Familiar face from CARE.
Yes.
Yes.
Good evening, and thank you for taking a moment to hear from me. My name is Miriam Hashem, address 18441 Utica Road, Roseville. And I am the program coordinator for the Clintondale Coalition at CARE of Southeastern Michigan. We would like to personally invite you, Board of Trustees, to join us at RecoveryCon and Film Festival on June 26th at the MISD for a very special opportunity to hear directly from young people in our community. During this event, our youth presenters will share the prevention efforts they are leading and the issue they believe are most important for elected officials to understand. These youth-selected topics will reflect the real experiences, concerns, and solutions that matter most to them and to their peers. Their voices are powerful, insightful, and essential in shaping healthier and safer communities. By attending, you will not only learn from the next generation of leaders, but also demonstrate your support for empowering youth and strengthening prevention efforts across our communities. So we sincerely hope you will consider joining us on June 26th to listen, engage, and stand alongside our youth as they share their perspectives and inspire meaningful change. I'd also like to invite our community members. RecoveryCon is open to residents and families and anyone who's interested in strengthening prevention and recovery efforts in our community. So we hope you'll join us for a wonderful evening of learning, connection, and meaningful conversation. Thank you so much for your time and for your continued service to our community.
Thank you, Miriam. Do you have copies of the flyers?
I do, yes.
Okay,
So,
all right. So
where
we
would you
can provide those to the clerk, and she'll make sure that they're distributed to the board members. Further public participation? Going once, twice? Public participation is closed. And that brings us to closed session. So, thank you, everyone. Call this Township Board meeting back to order. On the item number 8, Pamela Cassin versus Clinton Township. Madam Attorney, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you. I would recommend a motion to approve as discussed in closed session.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, moved and supported. Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Trustee Kress.
Yes.
Treasurer Aiello.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Trustee Wade.
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak.
Yes.
Trustee Kress.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Wait a minute. No, I'm.
He already made the
Supervisor,
motion.
yeah, I know. Supervisor Gieleghem.
Yes.
I don't have my thing charted. Trustee King
Yes.
and Clerk Meltzer, yes. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your help in this item. Ms. McGrail, on item number 9, discussion of pending litigation, ITC versus Charter Township of Clinton.
I would request a motion to approve the execution of a consent judgment as presented in closed session.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? Roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Trustee Kress.
Yes.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Trustee Wade.
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak.
Yes.
Supervisor Gieleghem.
Yes.
Trustee King.
Yes.
Treasurer Aiello.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion to adjourn is in order.
I'll make that motion, adjourn.
Moved and
Support.
supported by Trustee Wade. Roll call, please.
I'm sorry. Treasurer Aiello.
Yes.
Trustee Wade.
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak.
Yes.
Trustee Kress.
Yes.
Supervisor Gieleghem.
Yes.
Trustee King.
Yes.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Motion passes.
We are adjourned.